Hello and welcome to another crypto review video, and in today's video I'll be talking about Plasm Network, which is a scaling dApps platform on Substrate, which is the framework that Polkadot is built on, of course. And all these different projects you're seeing now are building on Substrate to be interoperable with Polkadot and hopefully get free marketing from Polkadot. But a lot of them are actually shammy, right? I'm not saying Plasm Network is though, because they've got something special. Not only do they have a partnership with a project that I've been discussing on this channel, and also the community has been telling me to review Plasm Network, and I actually heard of them quite a while ago, but I never looked in depth, right? So that's why I decided to do some research and actually look through the website, and then of course talk to you about it in this video. But what's interesting about Plasm Network is not only have they a special partnership with this company that are also building on Polkadot, but they've actually got a live network running on Polkadot at the moment. So if you check out the tutorial that I did on the web wallet for Polkadot, it should pop up on the top right hand corner of the screen. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on other platforms, do check out in the historical session the video where I did the web wallet tutorial of Polkadot. And you go to the top left hand corner of the wallet, you'll see a drop down with all the different networks like Kusama, Kulupu, Edgeware, Centrifuge, and also Plasm is in there. So that tells us that they did actually integrate within the wallet. So it is a legit project. Now, one of the downsides of it, of course, I do need to mention the downsides, is that the team is actually anonymous, right? Simply because this is a developer-based project. It's an open source project. It's developers that are basically taking the plunge to deploy on Substrate and to develop on there. Maybe they're fans of Substrate, who knows? Maybe they're hoping that something big is going to happen to Plasm eventually, right? Because as Polkadot is growing and more people adopt it, hopefully Plasm will be adopted, right? That's what they're thinking. It's normal. So yes, it is an open source project, just something to know, and that's why we can't actually see any team, right? It is anonymous. So in a way it could be good, in a way it could be bad. It depends how you look at it, right? You just want to bring this up there just so you know. But before we get straight into it, and again, this is going to be a short video because there isn't too much to talk about. The website is pretty straightforward, and I'll be telling you about the lock drop, and then I'll be looking at the Medium article, which you're going to read in order to familiarize yourself if you're interested to take part in this lock drop. But hey, if this is your first time here, my name is Claudio and this is CryptoSchain, the channel where I do crypto news, reviews, tutorials, and interviews. So please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, or dislike if you don't. Don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications if you're new so you don't miss the next video I upload that may interest you. As always, leave a comment below if you have any sort of questions, any sort of doubts, and I'll try to answer as soon as possible. But yes, Plasm Network is a scaling dApps platform building on Substrate. They're currently conducting a lock drop. They had one not too long ago, and now they're having the second one, which is going to end, as you can see here, in 5 days and 5 hours. Now, we're going to be talking about the price of the PLM token and the disadvantage at the moment, because one of the other downsides that we've got, apart from the anonymous team, because it is built by developers, is that there is no total supply for PLM at the moment, right? They haven't decided yet. They will be deciding at some point in the future based on how many people are contributing. So we can see the contribution is quite high. 88,174.5 ETH have been locked so far. And there are different time frames that you can lock it for, of course. But basically, they're saying that they're working with the Web3. They're trying to do these. They're trying to embrace the Web3 revolution, and they're actually supported by the Web3 Foundation as well, which is another pro or another positive sign in my books, right? Now, what do Plasm networks have, right? They've got layer 2. So Plasm Network is about enabling layer 2 technology on top of the Polkadot network. So that's good. Fast transaction, right? Nothing new here. Okay, we've seen many projects offering you fast transactions, but this is the plus on my side, right? The fact that they're a layer 2 on Polkadot. Optimistic virtual machine. So Plasm Network implements OVM so that any dApps can run under a unified environment with minimum issues. Substrate, of course, Plasm Network is built with Substrate, a forkable, scalable blockchain framework that uses WebAssembly. Parachain, so Plasm Network can be a Polkadot parachain that provides interoperability with other blockchains who are either a parachain themselves or via bridge. They made a typo here, it should be parachain. Open source, the Plasm ecosystem is open source. We encourage everyone to look in and join the future, of course, because it's open source, right? So this is pretty much answering our doubt about the anonymous team. And I know some people might be worried and they'd be like, what if they rug pull? What if they lock everything and then they rug pull? Well, that's the thing. I mean, you're locking it in a smart contract. You're locking that ETH in a smart contract, and we can assume that it's safe, right? We can assume that it's safe, but there's no guarantee, as with anything, right? There's no guarantee whatsoever that there isn't some way for the developers to access that smart contract with all this locked ETH. And I'm not trying to further anything, but it's just something for you to keep in mind. Okay, maybe there is some kind of logic which ensures that this cannot be lost because only you can unlock the wallet, the locked tokens, right? So I could be wrong about this, but it's just something for you to keep in mind that there is that sort of risk out there, right? Nothing is 100% bulletproof, right? Let's just get this out of the way just to make it clear. Now, to talk about the PLM token. The PLM is the main exchange medium that represents value in the network. Obviously, we've got the operators here. Decentralization. The dApp reward. So PLM provide incentives to the developers creating great dApps with the most nominators by splitting the block validation rewards. And the PLM multi-lock drop, which is a modified lock drop popularized by Edgeware. So Edgeware is another great project that I'm going to be talking about at some point in the future, building on Polkadot. Now, how can you help us? You can do so by developing, by learning, trading, and also do anything else you want, right? So it's for everyone. It's for the community. Basically, you can spread the word and talk about Plasm. Of course, anybody who has invested in Plasm is gonna try to promote it as much as possible. It's quite normal if you're personally invested in it. But again, I'm not telling you to invest. This isn't financial advice. Please always do your own research. Just so you know, I'm only doing this for educational purposes only. Do check the disclaimer in the description of the video. But one of the pros again with this project is, of course, I wanted to talk about Akala Network, which is the big one. As you know, if you've been following this channel for some time, I've done a tutorial on Akala Network, which is the DeFi project on Polkadot. They've got they're part of the foundation in a way, because I have seen them. When I mentioned this in the tutorials, I've noticed that they are part of the council. Akala have something there, and apparently Polkadot have invested in Akala as well. So I'm really bullish on this. They've yet to deploy a parachain themselves to start the parachain auction. When parachain auctions will be live, of course, on Polkadot. They're running into some technical difficulties at the moment, but of course supported by the Web3 Foundation grants program. So when we see things like that, it's always bullish, right? Crypto Economics Lab, I'm not sure who they are. Long Hash, I'm not sure who they are. Connect, I don't know who they are. Co.nect, apparently they're called. But yeah, Akala Network and Web3 Foundation are the ones that I know, and I'm bullish from this aspect, right? The fact that they've got support from these guys gives them some credibility, right? They're not just some nobody who are developing on Substrate and trying to take advantage, right? So this gives them some credibility in my books. Now, the development timeline. So they've started in Q3 of 2019, as you can see here. That's when they launched the testnet. Plasm Network testnet v3 started in Q4. The mainnet lock drop started in Q1 of 2020. Launch of the Plasm Network mainnet, which I'm assuming is to do with the actual live network, which we see in the web wallet of Polkadot. Now they're aiming to become a parachain in Q3. Not much longer left now of Q3. But they're aiming to become a parachain, so we'll see if they can get the voting. I'm assuming they will, right? They've got the backing from Akala, they've got the Web3 Foundation backing. And in Q4, they're going to be completing the Plasm Network v2.0. So of course you can join the community if you're interested. They're on Telegram as well, on Twitter, GitHub, and so on. But yeah, I mean, just looking at their Medium page here. So the first article was posted on the 6th of March, as you can see here with the lock drop schedule. It was posted, I think, in Chinese. And then they've got, and you can see here, Hun Kim and Takumi Yamashita. I think actually this is a Japanese name, so I'm assuming they're Japanese. As you can see here, they're actually, they're just, I mean, it's just mostly these two people, right? And then Sota Watanabe as well. So mostly these two people, a few others as well from time to time, but mostly these. They're pretty much the developers, right? They're developing on Plasm. They're developing Plasm and they're trying to make it work for everyone pretty much. But if we take a look at the actual lock drop and how it actually works, so here we can see it. The website is lockdrop.plasmnet.io. Again, the link can be found in the description of the video. So yeah, they've got 5 days left, as it says on the website as well. So here you can actually connect your MetaMask wallet to the Ethereum address. Well, sorry, you're connecting your MetaMask wallet, which is your Ethereum address, of course, and you're connecting it to the Plasm Network lock drop. So what actually happens here is you can actually choose how long to lock Ethereum for in order to get rewarded Plasm. And looking at their white paper, I had a look at that, and actually what's interesting is if you choose, and even they're actually talking about it in this Medium article, which I'll be showing you in a moment, but they're showing an example that if you're locking your Ethereum for 30 days, actually if you're locking 5 Ethereum for 30 days, assuming the price of Ethereum is around $300, you get around 16,088 PLM tokens. So that works out at roughly around 9 cents at the moment, right? That's how much we're talking about in terms of the Ethereum price and in terms of how many PLM you get if you choose this option with 30 days, which is 24x. Now, of course, if you increase this to 100x, then you get more, right? You get like 4 times as much, over 4 times as much. Then 300 days, even more. And if you lock your Ethereum for 1,000 days, you get even more PLM once again. So the bonus is quite big, right? The bonus is quite big. And actually, I could be wrong about this. I do need to look at this article again. I could be wrong about it because they do multiply this. So this is like a bonus rate. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get 360 times more. This is the rate. But this is like a bonus rate, okay? So of course, if somebody locks like 0.1 Ethereum, and I've seen that happen here, actually, if you check here, we can see all the different lockups that happened. So here we can see this person locked 2 Ethereum for 30 days, 50 Ethereum for 30 days, 15 Ethereum for 100 days, and 1 Ethereum for 1,000 days. So this is the maximum right here. So this person is going to take advantage of the big bonus, but obviously they know that they're not going to see that Ethereum for a very long time. So they're not too concerned about that. They just want the PLM. And again, that's the thing. Like when you used to take part in these ICOs in the past, you'd actually pay with Ethereum and you'd never see that Ethereum again, whereas here it's just locked. So as long as you have access to that wallet that you're going to be used for the lock drop, you can always get that back when this period expires. So hence why the smart contract is smart, right? Because it works in this way. It uses the time variable and it checks to see how long has passed, and then of course you get the funds back to your wallet. So again, if you want to take part in this, you do need to choose the second lock drop from the list. The first one is over. And the Dusty lock drop is a testnet version. So if you want to test it, to play around with it, there's also the lock drop utility calculator here. You can click on that if you're interested. But yeah, this is pretty much how it works. I mean, once you submit the transaction, you sign it. It's pretty straightforward. It's not complex. You don't need to do any KYC or anything like that. But again, I did say this at the beginning, and I'm going to say it again. The other downside, apart from an anonymous team, which at least we can say, okay, well, they're developers, right? So, you know, they are backed by the Web3 Foundation. They're backed by Akala. So they're developers who have some kind of, how can I say, credibility in front of the Polkadot ecosystem, we could say, right? And also they're a live network on Polkadot wallet. So I'm pretty sure Polkadot wouldn't actually let them become a live network if they didn't have some kind of credibility. So we can assume that even though it's an anonymous team, based on that credibility alone, it's enough for us to be pretty comfortable with them as a project, or at least for me, right? At least for me, from my personal point of view. But the downside is that there is no limit on the amount of tokens available. So they haven't decided yet. They're going to be deciding at the end of the lock drop period what the total supply is going to be. So my concern is that there could be trillions of tokens in circulation. So in that case, if that was to happen, I'm not saying that will happen, but if it was to happen, just imagine, I mean, it's 9 cents per token now. With a trillion in circulation, that 9 cents could end up not being worth so much, right? I mean, it's just something to keep in mind. And I know people that are new are rushing in thinking that, oh yeah, I'm going to get into this because the token sale is very cheap. I can get in before they list on exchanges, because when they list on exchanges, the price is going to explode. But hold your horses there, right? It's unlimited, right? So the fact that it's unlimited, we don't know how many there's going to be. And the fact that people have access to these tokens straight away is another thing to keep in mind. Unlike other lock drops that we've seen on Polkadot, like Staffy, for example, whereas people are slowly being given access to their tokens, not all at once, Plasm are available to you straight away as soon as you lock it, right? You can actually send it. If you follow this guide, which I'm going to be posting in the description of the video, it pretty much tells you here how it's going to work, and that you can send the tokens straight away to your wallet. Now, you're not going to get them straight away to your wallet. It's going to happen when the lock drop is over. If you want to send them to your Polkadot wallet, to your Plasm address on Polkadot. But if you use the Ethereum one, then it's going to be straight away, right? So yeah, I mean, it depends which version of how you actually want to send them. If you're going to be using your private key, exposing your private key on Ethereum to recover these assets, or if you just want to send them to a Plasm address. And in that case, it would be different. So you'd have to wait till the end of the lock drop. So yeah, do check this whole article, please, to find out more, to familiarize yourself with it. But yes, so yes, the pros, in my opinion, are building on Substrate, Web3 Foundation grant, and also Akala network backing. The downsides are the anonymous team, but again, you can waive that because of the backing, and the unlimited token supply. So the fact that they're unlimited, I'm not too comfortable with tokenomics that aren't clear, right? So until we get some clarification on that, I know you could say, well, Claudio, it could be too late then by that time, right? What if they decide to burn a lot, and then you would miss out, right, by not getting in? So yes, of course, that's a risk, but it's just me. Like, personally, I don't feel very comfortable with unclear tokenomics. We've seen this with other projects in the past, and I didn't like what turned out to be, right, or what turned out to happen. So yeah, I mean, the fact that they're available straight away, and the fact that there's no supply, there's no max supply at the moment, kind of concerns me, right? So of course, not everything is milk and honey. There are some downsides to it, right? So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. But that was it from today's video. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.